Hello, Matthias.
Hi, are we live?
So nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too as well, Chumi.
And Robert as well.
Hello, guys.
Hi, Rob.
Hello, guys. Are things really working now this time?
Yeah, there's been an insane amount of work in behind the scenes here, and so everything is up and running like it should.
Yeah, you are excused. You're a fireman after all, not a technician, right?
Well, people will probably argue that as well, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you, Matthias? You're in the...
I am in my van, living the van life on a solo trip up north. And I have stopped here in the beautiful county Hälsingland. It's pretty much where Sweden really changed its landscape. If you go up here on the east side. Really beautiful.
Yeah, that's nice.
You're not kicked out from home, are you? You're just on vacation.
Yeah.
That is good.
That's correct. And you guys, you looks like you are home.
Yeah, I'm at my studio. No surprise there.
Yeah.
What about you, Robert?
Yep. What's happening in the studio?
Absolutely nothing, to be honest.
I thought it was like 1,000 projects.
Yeah, I'm at home also, in the office, and not much happening. So I'm happy we could do this. But we're not here to talk about ourselves tonight. We have a guest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a famous Norwegian podcaster.
I think the name also implies that he's a dancer or something.
Yeah. And you should probably give him a call sometimes, because you are quite a dancer as well, aren't you?
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he is.
Last night.
Yeah, and I heard the law in Sweden has changed now. It's been an old law that prohibited. No, how to say it? It's forbidden to.
You have to dance on tables.
Yeah, it's not allowed to dance on tables.
Yeah, but we got rid of that law now, so now you can dance on the tables.
Oh, so now you can truly be yourself. That is so nice to hear. Congratulations, Matthias.
Yeah, let's do that before the
you
stream
don't need
ends.
to be a criminal every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But should we bring in our guest today?
Yeah,
I'm thirsty.
Yeah, I just had a little nip before, but hello there, Dennis.
Wow! Am I on?
Oh,
yes.
Hi, Dennis.
Yeah!
Finally!
Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was a short one.
You're a podcaster, not only, but you're a podcaster. So you have all these sounds that you can send.
Yeah, I got some sound pads. Yeah, cheating sound pads.
Yeah, I need to get myself a couple of those.
The Norwegian version of the En rust I natten.
Yeah.
Voice in the night.
I don't need electronic sound effects. So shall we?
Yeah.
Bring it on.
We can't wait any longer.
Get the focus.
I'm going German style on the glass today, or the mass. So, but with the English style beer.
A lot of breweries have now gone to using cans instead of bottles.
Oh.
So, but today we just brought a small bottle.
Wow.
Oh, Imperiet.
An IPA.
Do you see who he looks like?
Donald Trump.
Reflect
Is
No.
the English Prime Minister, old Prime Minister.
Is it Monty Python?
The ex-Prime Minister,
Boris, or what his name is.
Okay.
Yeah, he's known for a couple of scandals, isn't he?
Yeah. So I'm just going to have this beer to see how this works out.
Is it Norwegian craft beer?
This is Norwegian craft beer. It's from a brewery called Kinn. Like this. Really unique brewery from Norway. They brew all all their brews are open fermented, so it's a really old style of brewing, and I have never ever been disappointed in any of their brews. They are fantastic, and they hit the spot every time.
Oh. All right.
So really recommend if you can get hold of some of these, but there are different styles.
Or afford it with the Swedish crowns.
Yeah, but the Swedish crown is strong enough, isn't it?
Yeah, I just came back from a week in Denmark with my girlfriend and my kid, and ice cream at the store was €6.
Oh, fuck.
One.
Yeah, it's like in Norwegian krone, also Danish krones compared to Norwegian krones. So for me to buy in the Norwegian krones, easy translated to euros, there were €6 for ice cream. It's just like.
So was it you or your son who got the ice cream?
It was me.
I thought so.
Cheers, ladies.
Feels like I'm hanging with a fist bump here and nobody answers.
Keep it hanging.
Cheers.
All right.
As well.
Cheers, and everyone watching. Cheers.
Oh.
For that one. Been longing for that one. I wasn't that happy in drinking this morning actually, but now on.
Yeah, you're on a Oompa Loompa festival, aren't you?
Yeah, I was. It was really crazy.
It was so cool. So yesterday when I just have to take this. Yesterday when he sent us the message on the telephone where he was just filming the van, and you saw all the old cars on the same parking lot. I was just, okay, this is gonna be a night to remember.
Or to forget.
Yeah, was it loud music?
Yeah, it was definitely a night to remember.
Okay, so Dennis, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay, located in Norway, soon to be closing up to 50. I'm still 48, but that's a story. I've been driving motorcycles about over 20 years, since early 2000, I think, and a lot of different bike styles, all from sidecars to off-roads to, I have 2 grown-up kids. My wife has 2 grown-up kids, so it's been a busy life. They obviously don't live at home anymore.
Yeah,
and working.
Yeah. So where in Norway is
I live in Oslo.
I don't
Oslo.
know all the.
Yeah.
Oh, you live in Oslo. Yeah. So that's not far away. I actually have closer to Oslo than to Stockholm.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
I'm going to see you. I'm going to see you
as well.
Is that big?
Yeah.
As well, Dennis.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to take a swing into Sweden when I start my vacation in August anyway. So
but be careful, because there's a lot of dark powers roaming in Sweden, and they can make you do stuff you will regret for the rest of your life. Don't tell me how I know. Don't ask me how I know.
Yeah. Just let them be so bad that I instantly forget them. So it's going to be.
Yeah, but it's something when you start hearing banjo playing, it's not that easy to run. It's kind of like they have a grasp around you.
Yeah.
Squeal,
Thomas, squeal.
Then it's too late.
Yeah, but for the guys who don't know about your podcast, it's obviously in Norwegian. Probably some Swedish people have heard about you, but I've been a guest on your podcast earlier. And you have invited or interviewed a lot of kind of famous people in the motorcycle community, haven't you?
Yeah. Okay, let's bring this back to the start before we go into the people. But it really started in 2018. I sold off. At that time, I had a BMW GS Adventure 1150 with a sidecar on, with a Kalish sidecar. If anyone knows what that is, it's actually a sidecar that you can lean your motorcycle in the curves.
Yeah. So it have a link.
Yeah,
Okay.
really cool kit. But
So why did you have a sidecar?
I guess I've had a thing for sidecars since early 2000. Really started with at that time my first wife and we had one kid, and I was into motorcycling, and she was really grim that I was only thinking about myself and doing my own stuff and driving motorcycles while leaving her and the kid at home. So of course the brilliant idea was to just we can get the sidecar and then we can go all three. And in Norway in the 90s we had a whole lot of boxes shipped from Russia. With the renowned sidecar Ural. Really recommend that. Those early models.
Two-wheel drive as well. They are two-wheel drive as well.
Some of them. This wasn't.
Yeah.
But short story was that I came home with a slightly wrecked Ural, and she was not happy at all. And but I used, I think, like 8,000 euros on that sidecar, and it was mint. After that, it was totally mint. So that's why I like sidecars, and I have one now as well. Yeah.
Okay, but you don't have the first one still. You sold it, or?
Yeah, I sold it just because I didn't have the space to keep it. We were moving flats, and needed some. I just couldn't keep it anymore.
Just a little towards that sidecar thing. That's probably why you interviewed. Is it Helge? His name, the old famous guy.
Helge Pedersen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know about him.
Well,
pioneer.
Sidecar wasn't the reason that I wanted or reached out to him. It was actually back when I was in the military. This was in the mid 90s, in 94, I think. He came to where I was stationed just to have what do you call it? He had some pictures and talked about his 10 years on two wheels. He just came out with this book. It was on Norwegian. Okay. And I was so amazed by this guy and all the places that he had been, and showing all these pictures. I was just, wow. It was like Nansen and all these other guys, they were just left behind at once. So I remember so clearly that I didn't afford the book at that time, because I remember it cost 200 kroners, 20 euros, and I couldn't afford it. And it was really sad to see him go and take his books and leave. So many years later, I actually found a Norwegian book, because the first prints were in Norwegian, and all after that was in English. So I had the book, and after I started the podcast, I thought to myself, I'm going to build up something and learn how to do this podcasting, and I'm going to contact him and just reach out and try, And this guy he's very famous, I guess, but as he told me that I got a lot of requests for podcasting and interviews and stuff like that, and usually he turns them all down because he doesn't need to expose himself anymore. But he told me that he thought it was such a cool idea to go to a Norwegian podcast and talk in Norwegian and just have that feeling back of just express himself in Norwegian, I guess.
Yeah, and I think that
I
think that is kind of the thing as well, because you're when I've listened to a couple of your episodes, it's quite unique, because that is kind of the power of podcasting. You get to come in contact with the people, or people in the community, people that are a lot of people don't know about them, and you just kind of get them to open up, talk a little bit of what their experience is, what they've done through their career or whatever. And I think I saw the documentary on Mototrack, or the American channel that presented this guy with the sidecar on the BMW when he was riding through the section in the South America and North America that you have to go through the bush.
Yeah.
I think he was the first, or one of the first, who actually did it.
Yeah. He wasn't. You are referring to the Great Barrier Gap.
Yeah, that's the name of it.
I also thought he was the first one. So I told him, you were the first one, in the podcast, and he was no. He wasn't the first one. Actually, there had been one guy before him that had done that. So,
how do you even do that?
That's,
you need to chop your way with machetes and
you
drag.
You could find him on the internet and just read that story, because it's quite hefty. This was in the 80s, and in the 80s we had bikes that we look at now, and they are fucking old. You can't go anywhere with that one, but that's why also his story is so clear and cool to me, at least.
But what made you go for podcasting? Why not other social media? Or what made you go for the kind of podcast thing?
Yeah. That started, as I mentioned, in 2018. I had this huge BMW, and I couldn't go on gravel roads with it, because it's kind of dangerous, mind me. So I wanted to sell it off and go in the opposite direction. I wanted to try out something that very few had done. So when Honda introduced the 250 Rally, that was a new bike in 2018. So I got a very good deal on that in 2018. So I brought it back home. It was autumn and almost winter. And I was starting to search, first thing that comes to mind is get yourself an Instagram account, and all these cool names were taken, Honda CRF 250 Rally, everything was taken. And I just came up with the idea that, hey, what about Rally.Nor? Because Nor is supposed to be for Norway, of course, and the Rally was the Rally. So I started out with that, and
so it was a model name, not the Rally, as an activity.
But it became more universal than connected to a bike. That's perfect.
Yeah. So suddenly I started to make myself my own logo and stuff like that, and also going to YouTube and look for information about this model. And it was a new model, so there wasn't much info to find on YouTube. So I just I had an iPhone SE, that tiny little and I was just like, I'm going to make some shit, just not perfection, not going to edit and stuff, because I only had an iPad and or the phone actually to start with, And I just started to film myself in the garage in the wintertime when I was, modifying this. And then I started to upload some videos, and I got more and more followers. And it was quite a journey. But then in early 2020, there was a new bike showed up, and I could find something. It was a Husqvarna 701 long range.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
And to go back before the Honda, I was like, I loved the BMW GS adventure bikes with a huge amount of gas, and you can just go for miles and miles and never think about that. So I had this, I call it the GS gene, that I call it.
Oh.
And I also had two 690s, KTM 690s earlier, which are very agile bikes. You can use them for everything. You can go on highways, you can go
I would disagree, but okay.
Yeah, because I know we have been talking about that because you are too tall, actually.
Yeah.
I had one as well, and I think they actually are great in many things. But
yeah. But for me, it was kind of a nice bike, the 690. But when Husqvarna came with this 701 long range, then suddenly we had 690 and the GS Adventure combined in one from the factory.
Yeah.
With a factory build.
2 tanks and the switch.
Yeah. And I was just, I was sitting early morning. Not early, actually. It was on a Saturday. I was sitting eating my breakfast with my wife, and I was just looking at.
Just told her.
Yeah, just scrolling my phone, and I had this picture, and I showed it. Yeah, look at this one. Oh, you should have one of those. She said. That was man. I want to have one of those.
You were already married then, right? You were already married when she said that. So, otherwise you should have married her then.
And then I looked at I saw the watch, and I was thinking, oh shit, Snellingen, the shop, the dealer is closing in 1 hour or something. And I would just grab the boy. He was sleeping. I just shook him up and took him with me in the car. Oh, don't brush your teeth. We don't have time for that and everything. We were rushing into the store. And where's the long range? Where's the long range? No, we don't have it yet. Okay. But we have a list, and there is one bike left. I think that's mine. Yeah, that's mine.
Oh,
okay,
that's mine. Okay.
So
that's a smart salesman.
Yeah, but that was also the end of my YouTube channel, kind of, because then I had to sell off my Honda, and making videos, bad videos. They are not good and not quality, no good sound, no nothing. And making videos of the 701 is not that interesting to me because, everybody is doing it.
Yeah, this is not unique in the same way.
No. So I just made a few videos on the long range because that was a new bike and everything. And at the same time, I was actually running a lot, like
jogging. Yeah, Robert is trying that also. Forest. I don't think it's any success, but that's another story.
I run very regularly. Every
year. Okay, that is
like clockwork.
Yeah, but at that time I was running like ultra running, that was the kind of running I wanted to go, and terrain running and stuff like that. I was very into that, and I was listening to a podcast. This is a podcast called Nå det alvor, or in English it's now it's serious, or like, something like that.
Oh yeah.
And this guy, Hans Petter Smedsrud, which had this podcast, the format that he did his podcast just clicked for me. It was the best thing ever, He was just running around with a sound recorder and talking to random shit about with everyone and about everything, kind of. And I fell in love with that. It really stood out for me. And in 2019, I thought to myself, I'm going to actually start a podcast myself. I
have a question, Dennis.
Yeah.
Have you developed as a interviewer or podcaster, or are you a natural talent? Because when we speak on your podcast a couple of weeks ago here, I immediately felt that you could bring out the best out of people. You really drag people into the interview or into the talk, and people opens up. So is that something that you have developed, or is it natural?
I cannot say, but I can say that when I was a little kid, I'm talking about 12 years or something, 12 or 13 years, or 12, 13 years, we had a youth club that I used to go to, and they had a radio station.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to join that radio station because this was a little group of, youngsters and making their own radio, stuff like that. And there was no room for me at all. So I couldn't get in there. So I started actually at home with the old cassette player,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I had this double cassette player. So I played some music and I was recording and I was talking in the middle of the music, between the tracks, and talking like random shit. I don't know what I'm saying, what I was saying. I just.
Yeah, but
you were a podcaster back then.
Yeah, but it was very technical. I know that we trained as well at this in school.
Yeah.
It was a lot more kind of work. But Tjommi, do you know what a cassette player is?
Are you fucking kidding me? I grew up with a...
have you seen one?
You're born in the 80s, Thomas, aren't you?
I grew up with a turbo tape, the Commodore 64, the computer you had to switch on and off, and a cassette player that loaded the games. I was just...
Have you seen those as well?
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I understand I'm the youngest man here, but still, I'm not that young.
Okay, so that's interesting. Continue, Dennis. Sorry.
Yeah, no. No, I guess that already was there, kind of, but I didn't know that I had it in me, I guess, and I was, but as I say, in 2019, when I originally had planned to start the podcast, I just didn't dare to.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it because I was, I don't know why, but I was super anxious and I was afraid of everything. And I'm thinking back to that time, and I might also have had Corona, very early stage, back in March in 2019.
Is it so long ago?
Yeah.
Damn.
So I don't know because they wouldn't test, at that time. When you call the doctors, they just like, whoa, you're fucking crazy, we are going to die, and choke everyone, and they wouldn't test you and they wouldn't get near you anyway. So after that, I might have got this, what you call it?
Say it in Norwegian.
But the afterplay of Corona with the mind fuck, it was like.
Okay, PTSD
or
something like that.
No. It's like the late COVID.
Late COVID. Yeah.
Okay.
I was stumbling on words. I couldn't remember names and stuff like that. I was really far out at that time. So I was really afraid to start a podcast with that in mind. So I had to wait until February 2020. That was the first take I had. It was on Primus Treffe. Yeah,
but I think it's like that for everyone. I think the only thing that puts us apart from the rest is that we actually took the step, being anxious. For me, it's much easier to listen to my own voice in English than it is to listen at itself in Norwegian. Every time I hear my own voice in Norwegian, I feel like, well, who is that guy? But when I'm speaking English, I feel that it's much more neutral or not that bad to listen to. Even if I stumble with words, I don't know the exact pronunciation of the words and all that stuff. So I think it's quite common. But the one thing that interests me a lot is that I've never been a podcast listener at all until I was interviewed by you and the guys at the Trail and Adventure Motorcycle Podcast in England.
Yeah.
And that got me curious and got me interested. And look here, now we're sitting here having a live podcast, and I'm making it because I find it to be so interested. Because like Matthias said earlier, you kind of have the gift to just... You have the gift of listening. You listen. You make the people you interview quite comfortable, and you drag out the best stories of them. And there's so much for us to learn from that, doing this thing. So I find it quite unique that we all have different talents, but there's no doubt that you are the voice in the night of Norway.
I have one more question, Dennis.
Yep.
You have done a lot of podcasts and interviewed a lot of people with different interests in motorcycling and so on. Could you say something about the most interesting person or subject that you have done?
You don't have to mention us.
That is obvious. The second.
Except from us.
Oh, yeah.
I think I need to get a beer on this one.
Yeah. You absolutely have to, because this is actually
you hear me?
Yeah, this is from early this year. I did a podcast with a Swedish guy, Daniel Orevi.
Okay.
And this is also on YouTube. You can find it there on my channel. And he was having severe cancer.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah. I think that really shook me. And I knew...
What kind of cancer you said?
He had so many different stages. And,
okay, doesn't matter.
Yeah. He explains that in the podcast. And I was so afraid to not make that episode good enough, and I was so afraid to pre-mix or mix it after. Just wanted to get this right. You set it right once, and I wanted him to listen to it. Unfortunately, he just died just a few weeks later
after the podcast.
Yeah.
Oof.
So that really shook me, and I was that moved me very much, and I was just silent for weeks after that. I had problems with concentrating on doing new episodes with other guys after that, because it really
But you should
got a hold of me.
As we say, klappa dig på ryggen. You should think of it in a positive way, because it's a very beautiful thing to actually, you can't stop the process.
Absolutely.
So what you did and got the podcast as late, and I have not listened to it, but I will.
Yeah.
But you probably get a lot out of that interview about his life situation and so on.
I think so, and he's such a great guy. This was actually Anders Kulin from Dalexes. Yeah. He was the guy that tipped me, and because he had been having some of them courses with them, and he knew that he had cancer, and he told me maybe this guy I want to talk to. And he was such an open guy, and such an open, friendly, happy, just enjoying life at the moment and just staying in the moment. It was great.
Yeah,
it's a good reminder for everyone, to be honest.
We need to learn from those. Yeah.
But it's kind of, I feel like
exactly,
you're doing. Cheers for that one. I feel you do a good thing, because I feel. I think I talked about this earlier with somebody. Can't remember, but I feel like the society today are missing or lacking the voice of the elders. You see a lot of influencers. You see a lot of guys going online with Instagram, YouTube, whatever, and you kind of influence the market. And you see a range of ages, but you kind of miss the old people, the guys like my grandfather, before he passed away. He was kind of the wisest guy in the room. He was the man who kind of put everything into perspective and told the great stories that we could all learn from. And in the scene of this digital age, I feel like a lot of that is missing. And I think therefore we see so many, especially boys, that are lost, that they can't find their way. They're doing suicides, rates are going skyrocket, and everything that is just... we need more people like that, like the guys you are interviewing, the older guys, to have a platform to tell their stories, to tell their experience. And I think that is so damn unique. And you see it in the motorcycle community as well. The older guys, they have so much great experience and are so humble. It's just amazes me.
You know, that's a story. But you know, in modern society, with social medias like TikTok and so on, we are all left to algorithms, you know.
Yeah.
And actually, like, this is what I've heard. I cannot say that it's true, but I believe it's true. Like TikTok, for example, the algorithms for Europe, Western Europe, and United States, they want you to see stupid, drunk fuckers and light clothed women and dancing stupid shit, doing everything that you're actually not supposed to do. To make you do that stupid stuff yourself, you know. And in China, the algorithms will show you students doing school.
Educating people.
In a different way. So they are.
We're getting into a sort of a conspiracy here now.
You can call it whatever, but look at it. It's not.
Yeah, but this is not something you have, or maybe you have read it somewhere, but there's made proof of this. There have been people going to China and making accounts and to kind of verify this story. And it's for me, what I've seen, it's true. They educate their own and they try to dumb down the Western society. And look at TikTok, look at Instagram, look at YouTube Shorts. Everything is kind of like there are clowns everywhere trying to make us search for stuff that break down the society instead of building it up. How many today are interested in politics compared to being an influencer online earning Look at OnlyFans, for fuck's sake. People are selling their body for 20. It's cheaper than Netflix, and people are selling their self online.
Hey guys, I think we're ranting here.
Okay, sorry.
Have we some fun questions to Dennis? What has been the most craziest episode in interview that goes bananas or something?
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay. I have this guy, Kurt Göran Hansen. Nei, Andersen. Kurt Göran Andersen. This guy is from the north of Norway. Yeah. And you
Great
are
surprise.
Great surprise. What has this stupid motherfucker done? No, he's been riding around the world for 5 years. The only continent that he hasn't crossed was Africa. So I call this trilogy of episodes, I call it the man that never got to Africa or something. And actually, this is 3 episodes, and combined, I think they are 9 hours.
Wow.
So it was just like putting on a coin on this guy, and he was just talking, and I couldn't just. He was not tame at all, you know. He was jumping from one country to the next country and back to the country again, and yeah. But the flow was going. Such a great guy, and the worst of all was that in one of those episodes, for over 3 hours, I was looking at my recorder after 1 hour and 3 quarters or 45 minutes, and I had to say to him, I'm not recording.
And you complain about me being the tech guy.
I was just like, what? It's that feeling. It's so.
We have done it as well.
That hurts the most. It's so bad, you know. But this guy, he's such a sport. He was just like, yeah, I don't know. It's the memory card that's filled up. I didn't know that I had to, format the card. So I was just deleting the files, So I thought it was empty. So
how did you cover up?
So we had to do it once again. Yeah, but that's not the first time.
We have done something similar, haven't we?
Yeah. We were supposed to start at 8:00, and it's 8:00. Hello, guys, and blah blah blah. And people were actually typing in the chat. Hello, guys. Da da da. So we kept on talking. But then after about 15-20 minutes, we started to see, have they adjusted for summertime yet? Or when are they going to start? So we realized we hadn't pushed the live button there. So we were just chatting and toasting. And yeah.
Because
as we do.
Can start streaming.
That was a fun one. Yeah. I think I need to have a premiere on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Let's have a look at that face on the.
Wow, that's
I recognize
so cool. I didn't see that.
But you're looking so much better in that picture than you do in real life.
I know. This is a present for my shumis here when I turned. Just look at this. 50. Whiskey, or was it me?
Yeah. Matured 50 years, and it's not the whiskey, it's the cheapest I could find.
Here, it's very worth to hear about, so you can look somewhere else.
When it tasted, it's just like, what is this?
No, but he did that.
It's a typical case of an old sleeping bag or something. It's a lot of words here.
Yeah, the tasting notes.
Listen.
Yeah, I'm sure that will taste well. But what I remember most from your birthday party where you got that whiskey was it was not the whiskey. It was the beverage. And for those who don't know beverage, it's sort of maybe you can explain what beverage is, Matthias, because I tasted it because I didn't know really what it was, but you're gonna have some beverage, and it's snaps
I think I promoted
type of
it
thing.
good.
Okay.
It is.
And when the tough lumberjack grown-up men there just said, "Oh no, I did that once," no, and then you have to try.
Okay.
And so I put it up and to my nose, and everybody said, "No, don't smell it," which is what I replied. Oh, I say that to my wife also. So, but then I tasted it, and yeah, it's like bungee jumping. It's nice to have tried it. But you explain what beverage is, Matthias.
It is moonshine, of course, from the deep forest of, in this case, the county Gästrikland. And my cousin had made it, and the taste and the flavor comes from I don't know what the English word in it, but it's part of the beaver that's close
of the reproduction system, some sort of
not really. It's the anal system. It greases up the anal system in the end and so on, and they also drip smell with that and so on, and it's very sweet taste. So what you actually do when you take down a beaver is to, except from taking the skin and so on, what's worth of it, and actually beaver steak is rather nice, but then you take this part out of the body. It's like in Swedish we say köttel.
Chattel, it's a gland.
It looks fun, and then you need to like mature it a little bit, and then you have it in the liquor, or you make an essence of it. And then you have to balance the moonshine with this very, very perfectly, because it can't be too much or too small amount of this, because that will be really weird. But the one that was one of the worst I ever had. The thing with it is, it isn't really it is the taste. It's very, very exotic, and but it's what's
exotic.
Yeah, what it does to you, that's the most important thing, because it's good for everything. It's good for hysteric women. It's good for your it's like
for your love life, for your potential.
Yeah.
It's good for pretty much anything, all diseases, everything. I have a list of like 50 or 100 things it's good for, and you just have to believe it. Cheers, guys.
Okay, but let's see you sip that one.
Yeah,
but it's that's why
I bring that so you can see it.
I don't.
I have to continue on the beverage story there, because first of all I took it, and since it's moonshine, it's strong, so the taste doesn't come to you immediately, because it's sort of an oily substance in there, but then I had a beer next to it, because I could taste that it tasted really, really bad. But when is that beverage? Yeah, up with the camera a bit so we can see the beaver thing in there. No, it's not in there. Yeah. Anyhow. When I then took the beer to rinse it down, that's when the beaver exploded in my mouth. Really,
that's what she said.
But then I pulled the trick on Matthias, because they were playing beer pong, so they had all these glasses lined up in front of them on their side of the table, and they had the other ones. So.
That was a secret.
And it was quite fun to watch, but just average. So I thought I would up the game a bit. So I went and got a shot of this beverage filled to the brim, and then I said, hiding it a bit, so could I just pass between you and the table? I want to go over to the other side. So when I passed the table, I poured that beverage into one of the beers. And now it was interesting to watch because they had a beer. Oh, it was not that one. And then I have a video of you picking the right one, and yeah, that's that was a fun.
Yeah,
sight.
I saw that video. And it is
I was like, what?
Okay, I got some. I got some interesting moonshine here. Right here, actually, standing on my table.
Let's take a look at it. Look at it.
Okay, at first glance, it looks like
Julmust.
Yeah, but in this bottle, you see this stuff.
All right.
I got this from Elving Solli. You know that?
Oh yeah, the Swedish guy, the famous gravel guy.
Oh yeah. The seventh father. Yeah. You know, and actually the story is that this moonshine. I think he told me that this comes from Mongolia.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is from the desert of Mongolia. I think it was Mongolia. Don't arrest me. Sorry, Elving, if I'm telling you wrong, but it's made
Let me guess. It must be those yak testicles in it.
No, it's actually made of some roots on some bushes and stuff like that. And he left it on one of the rallies. We have the RNP meeting, which is Rallynor patrons meeting.
Oh yeah.
So he left it there.
But it's always surprised me that.
How does it taste?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's the exotic things that like this. It's like you have the fish in Norway. If you like surströmming in Sweden, you dig it down, you make it rot, you make it and you put it in a box, and it's just like whoa, it's really nice. No, it's not, and it's.
Cheese?
Cheese. It's like it smells like bad feet in the military after a month out in the forest, and it's just like, oh yeah, this is good. And in Norway, we have the face of a sheep. It's just like a delicate, and it's just like,
oh yeah, that's great stuff.
Why? Yeah. Why do we need to eat testicles? Why do we need to eat whale penis? Why do we need to eat or drink?
To survive, of course.
I think it's important. It's our heritage, Thomas. It's culture.
No, it has nothing to do with culture. It has with lunatics making booze and being drunk and mixing shit together and just, oh, this was good.
No. Yeah, but we don't see that.
By the way, guys, this 50 years matured whiskey here from you, Chumit. Yes. Rob and Thomas, it tasted really, really nice.
Damn it. You bought the wrong bottle.
I think I will spare it until we meet next time.
But there's one thing you could do with a bottle like that. You just refill it.
I know. Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah, where nobody would tell. Oh, I saved it.
But then I changed from whoa, Etsa, my dog is running around with me.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, he's butt naked under that shirt. He's butt naked, and the dog just came around and like, ooh, yeah.
I will change out the taste from like overused sleeping bag to like overused socks or something for you guys.
For all you viewers out there who look at Matthias always looking out the window, that's because he's stealth camping. He's not allowed to be in the spot he is, and he's always trying to look. Is somebody coming to look at me? Huh?
I will actually tell you why. Because I was on a crazy place with a lot of youth with like EPA tractor, the car moves slow, and it's a culture in Sweden with youth that could ride them or drive them, and they are crazy. Stupid stereos and stupid audio in the cars, and they are fun. They are having fun, and we who are listening are having so fun. And that was the case yesterday. But this parking seems to drag these EPAs, so if they're going to boom here, you need to mute, I think. But she's ready.
Oof.
She's just waiting.
Oh,
Essa.
She's a dog.
It's a dog.
I heard that a dog is the same as her owner. Is that correct, Matthias?
Oh, the former dog I had was definitely that, and this one is something like, I don't know. It's my new wife.
That is good.
It's nothing like the truth, Thomas. It's nothing like the truth.
It's not.
I got 2 dogs too, but you don't want to hear it. I got 2 Chihuahuas.
Chihuahuas. What the Who in the right mind buys a Chihuahua?
Oh.
Guys, I think we need to see the dogs and Caparagar and everything like that. We're almost up to 1 hour. And I want to hear a little bit about the future, Dennis.
Oh
yeah.
Cheers to that.
I don't want to talk about it.
Cheers to the future.
The future of getting drunk. No, let's tell us a little bit about what you plan.
No. Yeah. Okay. So every year I set a new, what's it in English? Nyttårsforsett.
New Year's.
A New Year's resolution.
Yeah, New Year's resolution. Yeah. Quite a word.
To start the gym training and
no,
less. No?
I'm downing on that one.
Okay.
No, so I guess in as I told you in 2020, 21. Yeah, no, 21 actually. In 21, I started with a podcast. Was it in 21? Yeah, it must have been. Anyway, I started just with my phone as a recorder. So I was recording on my iPhone the first episodes, and I was upping the game a little bit, and I bought myself a better recorder just to record on make better files actually. And my New Year's resolution after that was to buy myself some more studio gear, like microphone and stuff like that. And this year's resolution was to up the game with starting with the video podcasting. It's just a natural, of course, that's natural way for me to go as a podcaster, just to have also the opportunity to deliver the podcast on YouTube, just like you guys. So I don't know. Next year, what am I going to do? I don't know. But yeah, we will see.
Will you always keep it in Norwegian, or have you ever thought of doing it in English?
I did one episode in English. That was with Henriette for the Love of Wheels, the Danish girl that's traveling around. Just because she wanted to do it in English. I have no problem with talking English. It's okay. But for me, it's like Norwegian is a more personal language. It gets deeper. You can dive into people in another way, get into their minds, and all the feelings and settings are more correct. So it feels, and I don't have the urge to grow my podcast like having thousands of listeners or worldwide,
But you deserve it.
Yeah.
You deserve it. At least in Swedish, Danish, and Norwegian, you have an audience that understand you. So
yeah, I think that's the goal.
Yeah,
is to get more listeners in Sweden. I have some, but more listeners also in Danish, I think.
Yeah,
because they are pretty similar languages.
Yeah, for you out there, just listen to Dennis' podcast. He's a professional. A hidden gem.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I think it's.
I feel sorry for you guys who doesn't understand Norwegian.
Yeah,
because
I will never turn down.
Norwegian is the worst. It's like Swedish, and you have the Danish. And Norwegian, we talk
Yeah, but Dennis can do it in Swedish too.
Oh, yeah.
Vad helvete med? Vad fan är du? But what? And I was in Denmark now, and it was like the way they talk about their currency, the halvfjers and halvfems and everything. I was just, do you take Vips? And in Swedish, it's just.
That's fun, Tommy. That's a Viking style of still counting. You count in a totally different way that you did in old times.
Yeah.
But we have got rid of it because we are more modern in Sweden. And Norway,
of course. But still, it's like the dum-dums in America that use the inch thing. Still, it's like 2.5 thirds of an inch. It's just like, okay, it's a couple of centimeters. Why can't people just adjust to the metric system? And it's not about me being. It's just like it makes totally sense. It goes with kilos. It goes with tons. It goes with millimeters, centimeters, meters, everything. No, you're 2.5 stones and 6. What the?
Yeah, and ounces and feet and yards and.
You and I know a lot of Danish. Like, for helvete, man.
For fan, man. Vad lär du?
Ja, för fan.
Jag håller för fan käft.
That's all the best Danish we know.
Fett nice.
Ja, that's good.
Ja. Och så kommer vi bollar.
Yeah, exactly. But besides the podcast, because when I met you, Dennis, it was at the Grenseland road book rally in Norway. So you, and I had a hard time keeping up with you. So you must do some riding in between, because otherwise I would have passed you. So what's up on the riding front there in the future?
Wow. Okay, I ride less than I would like to say. Absolutely. Because work takes up so much time. I work, like shift. I work daytime 1 week and evening time next week. Yeah. So those evening weeks when I work, it's like they are totally fucked.
Yeah,
you wake up at 9 o'clock and you're just like, I'm going out with the dogs and stuff, and suddenly you have to go to work. Yeah, woohoo! You know how I feel like that? Yeah. I feel so fucked up with those, those dogs. When I'm going around the corner, and they are barking at everything, like every fucking neighbor in my hood here knows. Here comes that guy with the fucking chihuahuas,
Yeah.
Now,
Can you stand up a little bit so we see your T-shirt? Public Enemy.
Wow.
The one with the 2 chihuahuas.
Cheers for that. Wow. Keep it up, Dennis.
Oh yeah.
Be your neighbor's enemy.
We are the old school guys,
Yeah.
Everything is just.
Yeah, so you want to do more riding than you get more Chihuahua walking than riding bikes.
And also living in the middle of Oslo is like the asphalt jungle. You have to ride at least 1 hour just to see some gravel, and it's really boring.
Are you kidding me? You have to go 6 hours to get gravel here from Bergen.
Yeah. So that's even worse. For you.
Okay. Hello, Matthias.
Hello.
I was actually
about
just
what you are saying here, because Bibi has told me that this is your dog, and you know what that means. That's why I'm trucking around here instead of riding my bike up to the north.
That is proper genius feelings. Frustration. Come on, let it out. We're here, therapy room.
This isn't a bad life either, so I'm not sorry.
But Robert, do you have dogs?
I have a dog. I have animals. We have rabbits at home. I have a dog. We have chickens. We have, but I have a different deal than you, Matthias.
Yeah.
None of them. That's my wife's projects. So
I know
take
the
care of
deal.
them.
I
You're a
know
professional.
what deal you are managing, Robert. The deal is that your wife takes the dog and you walk around with the chickens.
No, store them in the bag.
Yeah,
Fresh
it's
food on the trip, you know.
yeah,
I've seen Robert
yeah,
in the
that's-
kitchen. He does all the cooking at home.
yeah, I do, but I cook it manly.
How is cooking manly?
Yeah.
Show me.
Sneaking around in the garden and pick up the wife's chickens.
To take away the focus of me right now, we never know, Matthias, if you're going to make it to these broadcasts now because of previous history. So if
Previous
in
history,
case
and I'm going into the
in case
far north.
in case you didn't couldn't manage to get to this broadcast this time, we prepared it, and I think it was so good. So even though you are here, we have to show what replacement for you that we had. Do you have it, Thomas?
I'm not sure if everybody's been framed, but if I press Matthias now, I think we're gonna just go just for his face, and let's see if
So if Matthias wasn't here, we could have him talk anyway, and then we could translate it for him and still have sort of.
You don't know the story behind that picture at all. I won't tell it here either, but it has a story.
Yeah, Greta Thunberg is your favorite Swedish, isn't she?
My leading star.
Yeah.
She loves when I'm riding in the woods on small trails that I shouldn't be at, and everything else I do. Cheers for that,
Yeah,
guys.
cheers.
But that's another story. This is great. This is great, guys.
Let's hold on to that one. Like Greta would like to hear one of my upcoming episodes.
Oh, is it in environmental?
Oh yeah, absolutely
But
environmental.
that is kind of like over to a technical question now. It's a little bit of fun and going back and forth. But when you do,
Is this secret, Dennis?
What?
Is this secret, Dennis, or could we elaborate on it?
No, I can actually bleed something now. I did a podcast just a couple of weeks ago with Erling Sande AS, which is one of the big motorbike imports in Norway, and they also import zero motorcycles. So after talking to Morten at Erling Sande, we agreed on that they are going to lend me a Zero DSR X, which is the adventure model of Zero. So late this month now, I'm going to borrow this bike for a weekend, and I'm actually going to make a podcast episode doing some roadbook rallies in Norway with this
the roadbook challenge
electric bike. With the electric bike.
One question about that. What car do you bring to get you out of a sticky situation?
Yeah, that's Viking or NAF or
the same as I do.
But hey, after you have done this, Dennis, and then long gone is the Brap. And the new Brap is the or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like,
but you know, for me it's like I always want to, you know, put my head to the block, you know, shop ahead, you know, and it's going to be scary. I guess you know, like the reach and everything is going to be new. I have to think closer about everything that I'm going to do, and And how I'm going to do this, it's going to be a real adventure, I think.
Yeah, you really need to plan
in
it.
another way.
You're not only going to focus on navigation. You're only as well focus on preservation of the power.
Yeah, and charging.
Yeah, where is the charging station?
Where do we charge?
I really look forward to riding electrical motorcycles in the forest, because in the city, of course, it's environmental and so on, but in the forest it brings sort of a new dimension, I guess, when it's so quiet and
absolutely.
There are more and more people outdoors, and we all need to respect each other, and that will be much easier with an electric bike, of course.
How is that more? I don't understand that. How is it more respectful with electronic?
You can just wrap up the ground and leave it like a mess.
Do you understand how much power that is in an electric vehicle? Have you ever ridden a Tesla? The amount of power in that engine or in that battery pack that
you see, I'm kidding.
Yeah, but still, it's a good discussion, and we don't need to fuck it up with trying to be friends. Yeah, but I think it's
destroy the ground a lot more respectfully. That's the truth.
But
let's not fuck it up by trying to be friends.
Oh, you guys, you're so nasty.
That is kind of like
I want a T-shirt. I want that on my T-shirt.
It's always like that. It's kind of like when you having a good discussion with a friend who's sitting there, you kind of arguing about who is most right. It's like almost like a Facebook comment section. Everybody trying to win the discussion. And some idiot takes up the phone and Google the answer, and just like, why ruin a good discussion with facts?
Yeah. That's what Trump said.
It's the new Bratman. That's great.
Yeah, I think it's quite, but it's kind of on a technical perspective of all this. Doing research for your podcast, what kind of ticks your boxes to get a new guest on the podcast? What is kind of like the measurements you?
Okay. I guess that every guest in the podcast is kind of it's a fresh thought. You need to be really focused on just a few weeks you have to get this on, and you have to just pull it because if you wait too long, then your mind starts to think about new episode with other people. Makes sense. Yeah. So I'm always really focused on those guests that I'm inviting.
Yeah, do you do research about them? Do you search them up? Do you find out stuff in front end?
If I feel like I need to do some research, of course, but I always make a template in front.
Yeah, okay.
Just for
myself,
so you kind of have
just
to help myself
a roadmap you follow in a certain.
I need to have. Yeah.
But I think that is a lot of the way I do it when I make a standalone video on my channel. But I see every time we go online doing this channel, I feel like it's more like we just come together, have a good time, and see how the talk evolves. It's kind of like you just wing it a little bit. Of course, like I did a little bit of research on you and your previous episodes and stuff like that. But I see a lot of the times just sitting down, having a good laugh, a chat, a couple of drinks makes a much more interesting view than necessarily doing all the research. But I do understand on a podcast only, not video, that would probably be not the same. But do you have a take on that? No, doing more video podcasts as well as audio podcasts.
Yeah, but the video podcast has nothing to do with it, because video podcast is just bringing in, the frame to the same dialogue.
Yeah, of course.
For me, it's nothing else than that. And as you can see, if anybody checks in on my YouTube channel, they can see that it's not consistent either. So the episodes are not following. They are just like hopping over 2 or 3 episodes because they are just on sound. So,
but as a professional, if I can call you that, what could you give us any pointers? What would you do should we do more research? Should we do anything different from what we are doing, do you think? Totally honest.
No, yeah, totally honest. For anyone listening, just stay yourself.
Yeah, be yourself.
Be yourself. You are the best at being yourself.
Ah, that's a good point.
Don't try to be anything else. Don't try to be Joe Rogan or any else, because they are not you, and they don't think like you. They think different. Everybody thinks different. So the best thing you can do is just stay and be yourself, and bring on whatever you have to say.
Be your unique self for what is going. So I have to quit pretending to be Robert then.
You know, you are pretty fast going to fall if your viewers or listeners suspect you trying to be something that you are not.
Yeah,
I think it's cheers on that one.
Yeah. Cheers, ladies.
All my cheers. Yeah, I have a little droplet.
I don't have a picture on the Robert. Why is that? It's been gone for ages.
I got him in the OBS.
Has it?
Yeah, he's on YouTube, but he's not on. Yeah, but anyway,
it's not me.
It's not you. Not this time.
No.
It's public enemy number one. Can you?
I think you have a great point there, Dennis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that actually gets easier with age, because at least for me, for myself, every year, of course, I get used to using the camera, but every year I care less about what people think, and then it gets easier to just and once you get just down to whoever you are and just be yourself. That's the goal, and I guess.
But I think it's a good circle, because every time you put out a video, every new video, you get a little bit more comfortable. You get a little bit more selvtillit. You get more confident about what you're doing, and you get the reply and confirmation from the viewers, and that kind of like just spiral in the right direction. So it shows that there's nothing to be scared about. There's nothing to be afraid of, because I get recognition for what I do. People like what I do, what my kind of artistical impression is on what I do, and that just grows, and it makes things better for everyone, every single step. And I don't think it's necessarily age. I just think it's being a part of this, getting out there, showing your face, talking to a camera, talking to people, getting to know people.
Yeah, getting comfortable in your own zone.
Yeah,
and there's another aspect to it. It's like you guys, you are doing Nordic Adventure TV. Don't ever let Nordic Adventure TV own you.
Yeah.
You are the owners of Nordic Adventure TV. You know, so don't let that come ahead of you.
I'm not a sellout.
Going to... Yeah. That's a bold move.
Yeah, but it's a good point.
Yeah, but yeah, it's easy running. We each have our own YouTube channel, and now this joint thing there. And I think all the three of us has managed quite well not to be pressured by all the you need to deliver it and constantly and so on, so that you feel that you just have to cater the audience all the time and so on. So it's when we have something to give them, we like to do it, and that's
it's like therapy session. It's like we're sitting down, just having a laugh. And for us, especially for mine, we talked about this before, but it's like we're sitting down just to have a laugh in between ourselves, and we're trying to share that with our audience. And sometimes we include them with the chat and everything, but sometimes we just stay ourselves and talk about what we have been doing the last couple of weeks and just focus on us. And I think that is what makes this unique for us, is that we try to show more who we are as individuals, not Nomad Sweden or T.S. Hansen or Brap and Camp. It's
Not to forget, guys, this just started up because we needed to vent things with others in the same situation, or good friends out there. So we are talking a lot outside this channel with each other.
Mm.
But I have to say, we're not at the goal yet. We're not completely ourselves.
No.
We should record what happens before we press the live button.
That will be cancelled.
And then put that out as extra material, because what happens before we press live is...
I got that recorded on sound.
Damn it.
You have.
Okay, we want 20% of anything that goes online.
That's funny. It's not going to leave you much. Like doing a podcast like I do. I don't have videos that are shown too much on YouTube. I don't earn anything with the YouTube. I have to pay upfront for everything that I upload in my podcast. It's actually quite a lot of money each month just to have this running.
Yeah.
And it doesn't generate any money at all. So I really don't care. I have a few patrons, 39 patrons or something, and but they are stayers, and I cherish and love one and each of them. They are actually the only way that I can keep this going. And
but one question about that: would you not do it if it wasn't for them?
I couldn't.
You couldn't?
No.
That's interesting, because
no, that's there are two answers.
Yeah.
The one first answer is, of course, money, because I don't have a lot of money, so just to pay up for every platform and stuff, and to get to deliver this podcast and broadcasting costs money, and then you have a website and stuff like that. It all costs money, and if I didn't feel like I had any backup from the audience at all, and I felt like cares about what I'm doing, nobody wants to listen to this, because I don't have too many downloads, but I'm not looking at downloads. I'm doing this actually for those who care.
Yeah, and that is a good point. I think I do the same. I don't care about money. I never done. Money has just been it's never been a thing for me that I care about. It's just a necessary mean to survive. And what I do it because I have a passion for sharing. Somebody would probably argue that I overshare, but it's still that some of the feedbacks I get from people in the email section or whatever, in the comment section, it just amazes me how I can live my life and share it, that influence other in such a great way. That is more than enough for whatever I could ask. And I think that's
the true driver.
Yeah.
The interaction, meeting people. Well, not. I think the most of us do this to meet other people and do it for them and so on.
Building a community around what we do and kind of trying to get people together. And just look at what we three have created together, getting people to know each other. I know that there are people in my comment section that are also in the other guys' comment section, and those are starting to talk with each other, and it's just starting to build our own community on itself. And I think that is brilliant.
Just look at the chat. We are not asking them for questions to you, Dennis. That could have been interesting to do. Maybe someone has a question out there and we may pick it up. I don't know. We have not planned it, but
shoot.
We see the chat and it's living its own life down there, and that's great in its own. You out there meeting each other and spending time with each other along
absolutely.
this crazy team.
That's cool. And that's awesome. And I think that, the thing with the Nordic Adventure TV, I think it brings on something that's really needed. I think it's great. And you have so much, erfaring.
Experience.
You have so much experience on your fields and what you love to do, and you can express yourself. Like you said, it's like a vent for you guys to just talk out, and everybody's listening, and you are doing it in English, and I think it's great. You are doing it really good.
Thanks for those words, Dennis.
Absolutely.
Don't forget that we needed this as well. We started it because we needed it.
Yeah.
It's therapy for our own to just chat with each other, and then it became like public.
But there are many riders out there. There are many riders out there. Don't be offended but many riders are pretty much lonely. They are left by themselves. They don't have any friends to ride with. Maybe they have a lot of friends, but nobody rides motorcycles and stuff like that. It could be different reasons, but just watching your videos and watching Nordic TV is such a comforting thing for them. And you are talking in English. It's it's
universal.
I think you can universal.
You're on something there because all of us have a lot of messages and so on privately about a lot of stuff on our channels, and I suppose you have that as well, Dennis. And I see what you say. There's a lot of people that are very grateful and get very personal and so on. I think I never thought of that when I started my channel.
No,
not at all. But it started pretty early, and with all aspects that I have on the channel, that people, it's not just technical in the question, it gets also personal, and it's not only in the comment fields, it's privately as well. And I have friends for life, and as well connections up there that I probably never will meet because we have a lot of distance over the continents and so on. But what we are writing to each other is like you really know them.
Yeah.
Really privately and really deeply. So what you're saying, that there are a lot of people out there that are listening or searching for something, and it could be friends with the same interest, or just
to get
people that are open-minded to people, to others, and want to speak. I don't know really what to think, and I can't express it, but I feel the same thing with what I'm doing, as the feedback as well, in some way.
I had a really good story about that. I was in the ferry going from Hirtshals in Denmark to Norway, and there was a huge amount of bikers going to Norway, of course, because of the currency or whatever. But there was a guy, an older guy. He was like you, Matthias, gray in the hair and the beard, and probably around 60 or something. And he just...
And suddenly he called you Chommy.
No, he didn't call me Chommy, but he looked at me and he just like nodded his head and he said, I've seen all your videos. And he didn't say anything else. He just confirmed to me that he knew who I was. He didn't want to interrupt me. He didn't want, because he saw I was with my family, but just that moment, that fraction of a second when he just, I've seen all your videos. That was enough. And that made me so special. It made me more special than anything else, to be honest. And it was, so I do understand.
That's really humbling.
Yeah, it was quite unique, to be honest.
Yeah. And I guess that maybe that's a Scandinavian thing, but for the most part, you can see even musicians and very celebrity persons. Actors, they can go alone. Yeah, they can go alone. They are left alone, for the most part. But when somebody comes up to you and just greets you like that, it's really humbling.
Yeah, and it kind of like reminds you of what powers are in being a guy who have the the confidence to share. And there's so many other people out there who share the same interest, or share the same stories, or share the same experiences that you do. And just to get a lot of people go to the internet to search confirmation, just to know that there are other people that have the same views that they do. And to be in the middle of that, and to be responsible to, like we talked about in your podcast, it's a little bit about the responsibilities. It's I feel a little bit responsibility towards being a positive voice, to try to get people to connect, people to reach out to each other and learn each other to know better. And it's a strong thing. It's like almost like going to Sweden and end up buying a Tenere 700. It's the dark forces roaming.
Yeah. So one of the strongest feedback that I got, because I make these videos, and the most popular ones are the long format travel videos, and you put them out there, you get numbers and likes and people comment and things like that, and you don't really understand that people actually see it, even though the numbers may be high. But then I got a picture, a photo, and there was a family sofa with the wife and the kids and everyone, and in the middle the TV with the Turkish trip, and there was a Turkish family sitting in front watching my video, and that sort of reality check there. So that was amazing to see. Like, now I did something, and now there's a Turkish family sitting and watching it in the living room.
It's hard to believe.
So
crazy.
It's just like who and what.
Yeah.
It's just like And I remember talking to Roll at the Swedish meetup when I met you, Johnny, and he talked about he was traveling around the world for 9 years or something like that, and he has built up such a huge respect for other people that invited him in to his home, to his families and everything. He kind of made his home open house for bikers to come and visit, when he kind of his way to pay back to the community for what he felt was so important for him when he was traveling. And that is just so unique, and that kind of struck a chord in me. I felt like, okay, this is real. This is, and I feel a little bit like that, not in a sheer aspect of what he has probably experienced on his trips, but it made an impact to hear his story about that stuff.
Yeah, that's strong. I think that's strong. It's to also not just reflect over it, but to make something out of it, and as a payback. And that's a strong part.
Yeah, without doubt.
We have talked about it behind the scenes as well. So, and Robert is doing good because he has the Nomad Hotel there in the garage right now.
Yeah. I changed tires for travelers. I had overnighters and things like that. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did we talk too much? I think our guest left the room and we just keep on chatting and someone left.
But that's Nordic ADV TV. And if we'll keep this going, I need to get to the cooler again.
Yeah, we're closing in on 1.5 hours. I think that's a record.
I think we're just gonna.
But we're having fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we will wait until Dennis has relieved himself, and then.
Meanwhile, I get to the cooler because this talking. Or you are talking, not me. So what are you thirsty?
Let's take a look at this picture. It's Team Espeland. There's a short of Husqvarna, and I can't make out the last one. Can you see it? Oh, there's the Public Enemy. Yeah.
Public Enemy.
He heard us.
Enema.
Oh, he got the Chihuahua. What a bombshell. Show us that little creep.
Yeah.
Oh, there's two.
Oh, it's a sausage.
That is I do understand.
No, we can't hear you, Dennis.
You're on mute.
Oh,
there you are.
I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah,
okay.
So these are the boys. These are Casper and.
let me screenshot that.
Wait. These were boys.
Yeah, they are boys. So Casper, the smallest one. Kind of.
I won't try that with Edsa.
And this one is castrated, so he's the fat one. He's like a stuffed pig, but he's such a cool one.
Yeah, you can try to convince us about that, but I don't believe you.
My wife told me to just bring them in.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we just talked.
That's cool.
We did the right thing.
Cheers. We just talked a little bit about going through a new record. It's 1.5 hour with chatting and yeah.
If you ask me, I have a lot of time in my van, no obligations. So either we continue to chat here, or I need to chat to you if you cut off, because I need to continue to chat to you after.
Yeah, but we can take that offline. Not, I don't think that is shareable with the audience.
Matthias has to let off.
It's really nice to sit there until we drop down or something.
Yeah. Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah. Cheers to that. Yeah. But okay. Do you have any more questions for me? Really, like. Does the audience have any questions? I could answer one or two of them, maybe.
Yeah, that would be really great.
I haven't looked at the chat. The one thing is for sure, we need to, if you're a Danish or a Swedish or a Norwegian listener or viewer for our podcast, please go into Rallynor and take a look at his and listen to his podcast. It's quite unique.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. I also recommend that if you understand the language. It's definitely worth a listen. And I now have some episodes that I need to find and listen to also.
Yeah, I just say it's a voice in the night.
Yeah. It's you have a great podcast voice.
Not önska.
Yeah, for Iceland.
Yeah.
It's in Norwegian we have a lot of dialects, and he's on the one side of the country, I'm on the opposite side of the country. My voice is much better, to be honest, but
no, but Thomas doesn't have a dialect because he's moving around. He's from Ålesund and he lives in Bergen, so it's a fucking mashup that you can't understand. You can't place it anyway.
Yeah, it's strange. Yeah. But, on that bombshell, we're gonna take the time to say good evening to our viewers, and thank you for watching this episode. And go over to Rallynor, check out his podcast, and we will continue the talk in our after party, but that is off screen. Sorry.
Only for Patreon.
Yeah, only.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, the music. Play the music.
Yeah, guys.
Oh!